Welcome to TechReview, powered by Axel Springer. Here we explore the latest trends, news, and updates from the world of technology. This podcast is the perfect source for staying up to date with what is important to know right now. You can watch all episodes on YouTube or listen to us on all major podcast platforms such as Spotify and Apple Podcasts while you work out, drive, or maybe even travel through space. My amazing co-hosts today are Henrike Hedel and Vincent Irmler, and my name is Tarek Madani Mamluk, and today we have a lot of topics to discuss. So let's jump right in. And one special announcement is that we, the TechReview Podcast, are going to be present on the Quantum Tech Conference in London in September. So if you want to join us while we go through the vendors and talks there and talk to all the participants, you can join us there on the 19th of September in London. And of course, because we are media partners of this conference, you can actually get 20% rebate by using our link that we are going to post in the notes in the description of this podcast.
Notes in right? What? Anywhere we can, we will post it. Yes.
Right. Okay, but what else happened in the past 2 weeks? In the past week, sorry. Let's start with Vincent, because we know Vincent is always going to start with his first article.
Okay. Yes, I have 3 articles. Yes, I thought I didn't contribute to this one. No, can we choose? Let's please take another one. And the one we're taking is on the bottom about the Quest Pro 2.
ZDNet.
Yes. Okay. Exactly, because it is connected to the article I brought the week before. The week before, I brought in the information article about the Meta Quest Pro, which is not being produced any longer, / it is currently being produced, but only until until supply of materials for the device are running out. And then Meta will not reorder any of the components. So the Meta Quest Pro officially is already at the end of its production cycle. Now, this is just the first step. The second step is that Meta now stopped the development of the Meta Quest Pro 2 in favor of the Meta Quest 3. The Meta Quest 3 will launch, I think, in a month now. The Meta Quest 2 is currently on sale. If anyone is interested in it, it is cheaper than before, but however, well, maybe you also wait for the Quest 3. That is not the point. The point is that the device was so not well perceived that they actually stopped working on it. And it is interesting because the Quest Pro actually got very well reviews when it was released a few months ago, with one objection, which is the extremely high price. The Meta Quest Pro 2 was announced with 1.5K price, $1,500 before taxes. And suddenly, after the announcement and after the shitstorm that broke over Meta, the price was decreased to $1,000. Now, the next step, the discontinuing even of the development of the next Pro model, it looks like Meta got the message or understood it, that the Quest Pro line is just too expensive. People expect a cheaper hardware set and portfolio from Meta. And I am not sure. My question is what that does to Meta's strategy, because I think obviously Meta will want to push into the more high value headsets when it comes to pricing, because obviously they want to compete on one level with Apple. And when Apple in January will will launch and start to sell their Vision Pro, the price of €4,000, I'm pretty sure, my opinion definitely is, it will not stop people from buying it. So I can see that Meta wants to do that too. Now with the discontinuing of that headset, what does that to the other headsets? What does it to the development? Is that maybe even an actual problem for their strategy, because they won't gain enough financial return on this investment?
Yeah. True, and I'm really. I personally, I never thought that Meta could actually see themselves as a competitor for Apple because I think they have quite different target groups. But of course, there is like this overlapping group of people who are enthusiastic enough to actually compare like the very high priced Vision Pro and the more reasonably priced Meta devices. But yeah, it's highly probable that right now all the vendors and all the companies who are working with VR devices are orienting themselves on a new player on the market because everybody knows that Apple is a trendsetter and is going to change quite a lot of things when it comes to standards starting next year in the VR AR space. Yeah. Did you read anything else about the Meta Quest 3? I personally did not follow up on this development at all for now. Do you have? Did you read anything about the specs? Is there going to be like a big leap to the Quest 2?
Well, I mean, the only thing that I can say is that it is on time. That is what I know from the very article that we see in front of us, because there the Quest 3 is mentioned to be on time. Also,
what does
something
that mean though? On time? When will they?
I think the launch is in September. So I think we will see it in September. On sale. I don't think it's going to be in Europe available in the first launch. I think it's going to be available a bit later, just like the Quest Pro, which wasn't available in Europe until now, as far as I know. But besides that, one thing that I brought last time, maybe Tarek, you remember, is the lenses that they were using. Yeah, the brightness issues that they had, and it's also mentioned in this article one more time. If any one of the listeners or viewers hasn't followed up on the last episode, the lenses that are being used is actually still liquid. I need to look up the name of the specific tech. They will not use the new version of the startup that Meta required some time ago. It will still feature the liquid crystal on silicon displays, which is a very old technology that doesn't allow the sharpness that Apple will, for example, deliver on every display. And it also does not deliver on the brightness that they want to deliver. However, the new technology, and the name of it is, I can find it here, new high-end displays. I would have to look up the other article, Artemis. It's called Artemis. Everything's called Artemis now. Yes.
Don't tell the Berlin guys, but
no, don't tell NASA. But they couldn't get this technology to work, and that's due to the fact of thickness of the displays. The displays were too thick to actually be built into such something like that. The weight would be overbearing, and therefore, I know that the technology they were using is still liquid crystal, and it will definitely deliver colored outside cameras. That's also something that we know from the information article, but that's all I know.
Yeah. All right.
And now.
No. Wait.
And now, this.
So I read on VentureBeat that Stack Overflow jumps into the generative AI world with OverflowAI. We already know that probably everyone is now starting working with generative AI, but now it's also every developer's favorite website. It's Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow has introduced OverflowAI, a series of initiatives that leverage generative AI capabilities. And these capabilities are available on both the public Stack Overflow website and the enterprise offering of Stack Overflow for teams. And AI search enhancements are done with OverflowAI, and they are introducing such functionalities for both the public website and like the business offerings. And they do not replace the community-based question and answer forums that everybody knows from Stack Overflow, but instead they are complementing them by providing natural language processing, where you can base queries and generate more highly accurate results from the existing knowledge base. And this will be a support for, let's say, all experience levels. So even those people who know exactly what they are looking for will get like more detailed results, but also people who ask like the wrong questions. And this is something that is happening a lot with, let's say, beginner level developers who do not really know how to phrase their questions properly. And they get a lot of backlash from the community who says, no, we will only answer if you formulate your question in the perfect way that we expect on this forum. And so the AI will help you formulate even your queries in a better, more professional way. And there will be also a Visual Studio Code integration of these new tools. And this is also very important in times where we have these Copilot extensions, and we already have, like on our local environments, all of these tools. And they say they are not competing with the GitHub Copilot, for example, but they want to be like the additional interface to the knowledge base on this forum of Stack Overflow. And so they are not trying to fight the other tools, but simply add another complementary interface to bring generative AI in your everyday development work. And Stack Overflow's mission was always to become the first destination for everything technology related. And they say that this is now, of course, adding to their fulfillment of their mission, that it is even easier and more efficient now to access all the knowledge that we have on Stack Overflow. And the alpha release of this new tool set is supposed to be now in August, and developers and enterprises can already sign up for access via stackoverflow.co/labs. And I'm super interested in this because I probably speak for all software developers. We are all highly dependent on the community of Stack Overflow, and this is de facto right now the one destination to get your community support for everything in software development. And so it was only a question of time until they jump onto this wagon. Vincent.
Tarek, what does Stack Overflow do?
Oh, okay. Technically, Stack Overflow is just a forum where people are exchanging questions and answers and knowledge about software development. So this does not sound so...
Is it like GitHub?
Special. No. It's literally a forum. It's literally a forum where someone can ask, I have this routine, I wrote this in JavaScript and it does not work, I get this and that error message. And then other developers take a look at it and say, it's pretty obvious because in line 5 you wrote this and that, but the constructor does not accept this particular value. And then you get the answer. And this sounds very simple, but because it became so popular that thousands, let's say hundreds of thousands of developers worldwide are contributing on there, and they upvote their replies to certain questions. And so the most upvoted and then accepted answer is usually like a go-to guide for all problems that you have in software development. This is like the prime destination, because you could imagine if you have a technology that is used by thousands of developers, every question that you might have, some other developer already had this question, and you find the question and the upvoted and accepted answer to this particular question with examples and everything. And because this community developed these kind of standard formats of, please make sure that you formulate your question in a very decisive way and you give examples and the exact error message that you get. It's very easy to search for your particular problem. You can easily understand what the problem is and get very clean and upvoted, like on Reddit, upvoted answers, so that you basically, you start Googling something and the first 10 high quality results are from Stack Overflow. Mm-hmm. And in 95% of the cases, you find exactly the answer that you're searching for on Stack Overflow. And so there's also this classic meme that if you want to be like 50% of your work as a developer is like copy and pasting answers from Stack Overflow into your code base.
Okay, but then I think it's very obvious that it's not competing with Copilot, right? Because Copilot is much more involved with you specifically and what you do. and a bit
but
less
people,
with supporting you and just asking.
Right, but Copilot is a big threat to Stack Overflow because if you could imagine that Copilot is trained, for example, on the contents from Stack Overflow, then you do not have to go to Stack Overflow anymore because Copilot could simply provide the answers that you're searching for directly within your environment. And Stack Overflow still wants to uphold this community aspect and still wants to have people talking about these problems and exchanging information on their forum and not having everyone delivered all of the answers only within their environment. And so let's see if it works, if people still want to have this community aspect. It is, of course, valuable, but for simply finding the answers to your problems, you might not need Stack Overflow anymore. And so I'm very curious to see if their community-based AI solutions are valuable enough that people still go to Stack Overflow to discuss their topics.
And when exactly will it be launched?
It's supposed to be launched this month in August, and right now you can sign up for the alpha version, and of course I'm going to do that.
Yeah, that would have been my next question.
Yeah, and I'm super curious to see if it's just the desperate attempt to stay relevant in times where generative AI could basically do the job of Stack Overflow, or if they are actually staying on top of their game and simply make the experience invaluable.
And now, this.
Let's continue with Henrike.
Yes, and the Twitter/X one on The Verge. Yeah, that's probably also news from beginning of this week. We're now at the end of the week, but nevertheless, we can talk about this shortly. The fact that Twitter is rebranding itself, I think, was announced last week. And one funny thing that happened at the beginning of this week was this huge, giant new X sign appearing on top of the headquarters in San Francisco, and was taken down very quickly because there were a lot of complaints from the people around, the neighbors and everything, because it was really a bright, pulsing, strobo light thing that was so flashy that people were frustrated. And it was also put up in such a hurry that it also raised concerns if it's really like safe and everything, because it was from pictures from above, it was just held by some sandbags and stuff. So yeah, it was really like frugal. Yeah, so Twitter and or X, now I have to call it X, right? Denied access for inspectors to actually check it out, and said then like it was just supposed to be temporary from the beginning, just for an event. Not sure if that's really the case, but yeah, they now, I think they received 24 complaints about it. And so like there will be a follow-up, although they now took it down, but there will be like a legal kind of follow-up situation anyways. They will be fined, probably no matter what. Yeah, and it's kind of the whole removal of this thing ends kind of this very short-lived striking era of Twitter's rebranding. And that's actually the whole point, because this whole rebranding thing is done so lousy, and it's like, really, again, is that on purpose? Is that part of a bigger plan that we cannot really...
Henrike, if you can hear us, you are frozen right now.
But I mean, to be fair, it's the first time on Riverside that this happens. So props to Riverside that it happens the first time now, after we did so many episodes on here.
Let's see if she comes back.
Yes.
In the meantime, we can watch the
Please,
video.
well, yes, I wanted to ask, can you scroll and show us some more? Yeah, this is, okay, well, this is very, very bright. True.
It's literally screaming into your face that they have like this new logo.
Yeah. Can you play the second video? Let's go on there.
Oops.
No, X opens. Okay, it's funny that they have the Twitter thing still. Okay, Henrik is gone. Yes.
Yeah, she probably restarts the connection.
Yeah.
Maybe a browser crashed or something.
This is this is so horribly bright.
It's like in your face.
Imagine you're living there. It looks like living.
It's going to attract airplanes or something.
Yes. There's the new runway.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine that people get annoyed by that, but isn't this not illegal to have something in this magnitude?
I don't know. I mean, Elon Musk doesn't care about that, right? I think that he ordered it, says, well, let's go with it and see if anybody complains, and now it happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, generally, this is so weird because, I mean, Elon Musk does so many things. I mean, he's taking a lot of risks, yes, and sometimes he's happy and lucky with it. But on the other hand, you know, these happen currently. His track record isn't very great, and therefore there's so much bad press.
Hi.
I don't know if
Hi.
you should probably take less
Welcome
risks. Enrique.
Yeah, we're
watching the videos.
and we
Good,
already
good.
made a lot of fun about the new flashy sign.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it. I don't know when I was really cut off, like my Wi-Fi just broke here. So I was just about to say that this whole rebranding thing is done so lousy on X/Twitter's end, not just when it comes to this weird sign and the whole setting up and taking down again, but if I think it's also mentioned in that article or in another one that I read about that, the twitter.com domain still doesn't redirect to x.com. It's the other way around. If you type in x.com, it refers to twitter.com. Then the Twitter Blue thing is still Twitter Blue and not X Blue. And if you look through the login or support pages of Twitter, it always refers to Twitter and not to X. So it's really just, it feels like a big joke at this point. So yeah.
I still wonder if Elon Musk just hates Twitter so much that he still works so strongly towards dismantling this whole company. It's just like I got a list of 10 things that I can do to simply make their work hell. Just destroy everything.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that.
Even though Elon Musk, he loves the letter X, right? So he had so many projects and companies, and I think he actually bought X.com like back in the 90s or something. And so if he loves it so much, but hates Twitter so much, I couldn't imagine that he wastes like this name, the company name, on a platform like Twitter.
But does he hate it? I mean, does he hate Twitter?
I think I remember that back in the day when Donald Trump was removed from Twitter, he was complaining loudly about the lack of freedom of speech, and he was not happy with the way that Twitter was handling like the access.
But wasn't that the whole point of him then buying it?
Yeah, exactly. But the question is, what did he want to do this to destroy Twitter? Or to influence it in a good way, because at that point of time, people like Donald Trump, who created his own blogging network with Truth. And Elon Musk, who potentially could have created like his own competitor to Twitter, but Elon Musk decided to buy Twitter in a weird way.
I mean, but Trump I don't think Trump would have had the resources to buy Twitter. I'm pretty sure that this was on the table. I could imagine that. And to destroy Twitter, I mean, I know we have been discussing this over and over again, but even for someone like Elon Musk, this is such a heavy invest and such a risk. Just to destroy Twitter, buying it, feels tough. I mean, we see all of these crazy things happening around Twitter, mostly to make the investors happy that gave him the billions. So I don't know about that.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's also just a sign of desperation of like, okay, I failed big time in this kind of joke that I made, and that ended up me really buying it or like having to buy it.
Yeah.
And now like people are, like leaving the platform. Everything's a bit weird. They do not have, they had to fire people. So now also the product itself is getting worse because, you cannot really maintain the quality and everything. And now like, okay, let's do a rebranding then to like close one chapter and start another one, but it's done in that way. So it's like, it doesn't really feel like there's a big plan behind. It feels like an act of desperation at this point.
Yeah, a sign of desperation, a big flashy sign of desperation. But I mean,
the flashiest.
We know Elon Musk. He released a flamethrower for the Boring Company, right? Just as a merchandise gag. Yeah. But yeah, of course, I mean, the only one who could actually tell us what his intentions were with this amazing publicity stunt would be Elon Musk. So Elon Musk, we invite you to come to the TechReview podcast and talk to us about your really, really big flashy sign and tell us the story behind that and what your intentions were there. So you are absolutely invited. So maybe next time we will have Elon Musk on the show.
Yes,
at least.
or maybe not. Check it out.
All right, that's all for this week. Thanks for tuning in, and you will hear us and see us next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.